Hi guys, I'm here again. So today we will discuss about the taxonomy. So what is taxonomy? Taxonomy. So taxonomy is the branch of science concerned with classification, especially of organism. So from the Greek word taxes means arrangement. Nomia means the distribution. So this means that taxonomy or systematic is the study of description and variations among organisms in order to come out with a classification system. So taxonomy began about 300 years before Christ by Theophratus. So the father of taxonomy till today is Carolus Linnaeus. So there are four taxonomic components. First is the classification. So classification, for example, the plants are arranged into groups of similar characteristics. So the second is identification. So identification is to identify and derive the name of an organism by referring to an existing classification. So the third is nomenclature. Nomenclature is to provide a scientific name to an organism. So the last is the description. So the description is used to describe the characteristic of a taxon. For example, a family. So the taxonomic rank. And why do we fit in this category? The kingdom. So kingdom, we are living things that move and eat. Phylum, we are animals with backbone. Class, we are chordates that have hair and produce milk for our young. Order, we are mammals that have opposable thumbs and eyes facing forward. Family, we are primates that are bipedal or walk on two legs. Genus means human and species means wise. So for example, human. Common name is human and that is a taxonomic rank. So, kingdom, Animalia. Phylum, Chordata. Class, Mammalia. Order, Primate. Family, Hominidae. Genus, Homo. Species, Sapiens. So, the scientific name of a human is Homo sapiens. So, another example of a taxonomy. So, the organism, rank level. So, for the organism, species, E. coli, genus, Escherichia, family, Enterobacteria, order, Enterobacteriales, class, E. Protobacteria, phylum, Proteobacteria, and the domain, bacteria. So, that's all for the taxonomy. And now, let's move on to the reproduction of cells and how do organisms begins their life. Reproduction of cells. How do all organisms begin life? All organisms begin their life as single cells. Over time, these organisms grow and take on the characteristic of their species. Growth results in an increase in the amount of living materials and the formation of new structures. All organisms grow and different parts of organism may grow at different rates. All cells come from pre-existing cells by cell division. So how organisms reproduce? Unicellular organism contains only one cell, so they reproduce by asexual reproduction. Binary and multiple fission are some of the asexual methods. Multicellular organisms which have complex body design and have specialized reproductive organs, so they reproduce by sexual means. What cell part help the cell's reproduction? So the cell nucleus acts like the brain of the cell. It helps control eating, movement, and reproduction. So what are the organism reproductive cells called? Gametes are an organism reproductive cells. They are also referred to as sex cells. Female gametes are called ova or egg, and the male gametes are called sperm. Gametes are haploid cells, and each cell carries only one copy of each chromosomes. So the cell reproduction is the process by which cells divide to form new cells. Each time a cell divides into makes a copy of all its chromosomes, which are tightly coiled strands of DNA. The genetic material that holds the instruction for all life and sends an identical copy to the new cells that is created. Reproduction of an organism occurs through the process of cell replication that is either called mitosis or meiosis. Mitosis results in identical daughter cells. It consists of interphase, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. The meiosis results in 4 sex cells. So why do cells divide? So cells divide because of the volume of growing cells increase faster than its surface area. As cells grow larger, they become more inefficient. So another is the growth of organism. In order for an organism to grow, it needs more cells. Repair. New cells replace old or damaged ones. So how do cells reproduce? They divided into 2 cells. First, they copy all their parts, DNA, organelles, and ribosomes. So when a multicellular organism is growing or need to replace dead or damaged cells, or the mitosis. To make a gametes for sexual reproduction is eukaryotes are called meiosis. When a single-celled organism reproduces asexually, it called mitosis or binary fission. Cells need to divide to limit their size because their ability to exchange substance is limited by their surface area. Volume ratio. Small cells exchange substances more efficiently than large cells. Large cells need to make more protein to support cells' functions. DNA cannot be copied quickly enough in large cells to support their need. So the reproduction of cells has two methods, the sexual and the sexual reproduction. So the sexual reproduction includes mitosis and meiosis. Then the asexual reproduction is the binary fission or budding. So we're done discussing about the reproduction of cells. So next, we will tackle about the determining the relatedness among different organisms. Determining relatedness among organisms. In this lesson, we will discuss what evolutionary relationships, how we describe them, and how we determine them. So the appropriate indicator of relatedness is the age of 2 organisms' most recent common ancestors. Organisms that share a more recent common ancestors are more closely related than organisms with a most recent common ancestor that is older. You're not most likely to come across the word phylogeny. In a biological class, it's another term for phylogenetics, or the study of evolution, diversity, and the way different organisms and species are related to each other. Phylogenetics is important because it enriches our understanding of how genes, genomes, species, and molecular sequences more generally evolve. So the relationship are hypothesized based on the idea that all life is derived from a common ancestors. For example, you and your siblings share common ancestors, your parents. You and your cousin share common ancestors, your grandparents. If you take back far enough, all life on Earth at one time shared a common ancestors. We call it the last universal common ancestor, or LUCA.